Hello friends, welcome back to the X News TV. Today we are going to talk about the latest event that's going to come ahead in India, which is the elections, the central elections. We know that basically this entire election of the is going to happen between the Modi, as the BJP-led government, NDA government, and the Congress-led the opposition parties. That is, they have formed a unity of 21 parties. We know that in India, Congress is the most corrupt party. The most corrupt party if you have in India, it's the Congress. They have been ruling India from past more than 60-65 years, and still, if you look at India, there's a lot of poverty, a lot of dirt, roads are not clean, not made. A lot of problems were there in India, and despite of ruling a single party for a long time, but BJP came and they did a lot of progress. And so whenever BJP has formed the government, once they formed the government under Mr. Vajpayee, and now it's Mr. Modi, in both the eras of BJP, they have done a lot of development for the country people. It was the Vajpayee area where a lot of flyovers were made across the entire country. If you take Mumbai, Kolkata, or many other cities, big metro cities, you will see a lot of flyovers. There are a lot of projects were made to connect the India from east to west, north to south, and a lot of big highways and projects were made to connect, because roads are the main transport area where you can increase the transportation options, and people can commute for their offices. The major facilities can reach because of transportation. So having a proper transportation network and infrastructure is very important. I'll give you a good example. If you look at the China now, he's trying to make a corridor between China and Pakistan in order to have the trade done in much faster way. So transportation is very important, and that's why you need roads. Mr. Modi has again done a very good job in various sectors, whether it's roads, transportation, education, in medical facilities being provided, a lot of things to be done for the farmers, for the middle class, for the poor, for the upper class. They have the most important thing which he has done, which is pinching to the other parties, is the corruption. Because as you know, from development, the other position or the other parties has no problem. If you want to do development, do it. What we have to do it with that. But they have a problem because Modi is against the corruption. So he's closing, shutting down all the illegal companies that were created, shutting down the corruption from the India. And when the corruption is getting removed, the problem is with the other parties is that they will not be able to take bribe from the companies, from the different people, common people, and they will not be able to do corruption in their areas too, because when the center make a policy, a lot of policies will have to be incorporated. So they all are against Modi because he is the person who is removing the corruption and doing the development for the country. Sometimes people might wonder why the entire opposition party in India is united against one party, which is BJP or Modi. The answer is very straight. Congress, which is the trademark of corruption in India right from past 60 to 70 years. Congress has been ruling India since the time of independence, and if you look at India, it's still not a developed country, it's still a developing country. The roads are still dirty, a lot of roads, infrastructure is not being made, electricity were not reaching to the villages, and a lot of villages were still poor. It's not that India don't have the capability, India has all the potentials, but the problem is all the money which is flowing in India, which was going into the pocket of one particular family, which is the Nehru family. I will never call it as a Gandhi family of Congress, because Nehru was not the son or any relative of Mr. Gandhi. In fact, Nehru was one of the chamcha, we call it in India. The person who does not do much things, but he just roams around Gandhi, and try to take his position. Even if you look at the PM candidature at the time of independence, everyone, all the other members selected Sardar Patel, Vallabhbhai Patel, as one of the as the PM candidate. And there were only one vote, one or two votes for Nehru. One was himself, his own vote, and other was some other person, or I don't know whose. But this was what my knowledge is about this candidature. So, if you look at the independence time, the PM should have been, if everything would have been elected properly, then PM would have been Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. But actually, it's Mr. Nehru. All the other party members, they all voted for Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel because he was the person who united all the other in the entire India as one country. But it was Mr. Nehru who was a chaplus for Gandhi, just roaming around Gandhi. He did not do any major campaigns for in the entire freedom fighter, but still, just because he was a favorite of Gandhi, he got the position as a PM. And not only that, if you look at at the time of independence, India was divided into India and Pakistan, which was again Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is the one who united the entire country, and Nehru divided just because he wanted to rule India. So even if you look at the Gandhi at the time of freedom fighter, Mr. Gandhi was initially saying to England that let's create the Democratic Party wherein England will have the 50% members and 50% will be Indians, Congress, and that's how they will try to constitute the parliament. It was Mr. Bhagat Singh, in fact, who gave the thought of full freedom, named it as Poon Swaraj, and he was the person, Mr. Bhagat Singh, who gave the hope to the common people that there is a possibility of full freedom. Why we should take half freedom? So Mr. Gandhi was just trying to rule the country. In other words, I mean, he never thought about the full freedom. It was Mr. Bhagat Singh, and when he looked at Mr. Bhagat Singh, popularity was going up. He did not do anything to save him because England, British people hanged him. But he did not. Gandhi could have saved him, but he didn't do anything. So, if you look at the history, even the Chandrasekhar Azad, he made the entire freedom fighters, but Gandhi, his death was mysterious death. God knows who did it. But if he would have attacked the England at the time of after Second World War, we could have got the independence, but the credit would have been given to Subhash Chandra Bose and not to Mr. Gandhi. So, in order for Congress or Gandhi to get the credit, I mean, he did everything to take the credit. Anyways, apart from the politics, Mr. Gandhi was a nice person, but again, if I look at the political part, he took a lot of things he did just to be in the power. And Mr. Nehru, I mean, he was not even son or anything for Mr. Gandhi, but still he became PM, whereas Mr. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was being chosen by all the entire Congress members. So there's a lot of mismanagement involved in the Congress right from the beginning. This is what I'm trying to explain you, and which has been succeeded by this family, which is again a misrupt family. If you look at Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, just Sonia Gandhi. I mean, Sonia Gandhi is not an Indian. Rajiv Gandhi went to foreign to complete his education, and there he met Sonia Gandhi. Again, Sonia is not his actual name. His actual name is something different. In order to come into the political area, they tried to change the name and everything, and that's how they all created this entire scene. and the Rahul Gandhi and all these things. Again, they named after Gandhi just to take the popularity of the brand name. So since independence, Gandhi was a brand. So what the Nehru and other people in their family did is they took that brand along with them, so that people will start looking them as a respect, and they start electing them, and the family can rule. See, democracy is not a family rule. Okay, it seems like they are trying to make a king rule. So what's happening here is, let us say there's a mad king, okay, and he gone wild, and he kept he don't like democracy. So there's a king who don't like democracy, and he just tried to his family to rule the entire country. Now BJP, the other opposition party, has come strongly as a part of a democratic country, the democratic party, because Modi is a democratic leader elected by the people, for the people, and to the people. He is not a king. He was just working as a small tea seller in his olden days when he was small. So if you look at, so it means he's a person who is elected by the people. He's a people's choice, and so if you look at the whole scenario, I would say that Modi is a people's choice, and Congress is not a people's choice. It's something which who took a brand name from Gandhi, and then they kept on following them. So Congress people never had any qualifications, any mentality to save the country, for the country. They didn't have that. They always tried to rule the country, and they kept the poor people poor. They didn't build the infrastructure properly, because if people will get educated, if they become mature in their thoughts, then what is going to happen is ultimately they fear that people will not vote for them, because once you start knowing about your rights, you know that whom to be responsible held. Now, in order to even avoid that, they involve a lot of corruption in the country. So ultimately, in India, if you look at Congress, another name is corruption. So C for Congress, C for corruption. There's a lot of corruption in India, all because of the Congress. And the other parties, they all followed Congress. So if you look at the local parties like Samajwadi Party, the Mulayam Singh Party, the Aam Aadmi Party, the Mamta Banerjee, Mayawati, Mehbooba. In South, there are a lot of few local parties. So if you look at all these parties, 90% party, you will find the small parties. They all are involved in the corruption. Okay, and I will not say that BJP had never done any corruption before. I'm not fully aware about it, but I would say that they have less rules, so there's nothing much to say. But if I look at the current leadership of Modi, I would say that he is the man. He is the man out of box. He is the man. Modi is the man who is built for India. He is being pushed by the people of the country to the up in the ladder, and he is the person who can bring India to a developed country. Today India is so growing high, and he is the man because of which all this thing happening. Congress have been doing a lot of nonsense things after Rahul Gandhi came into picture. I mean, Congress has been supporting these tukre gang. Like a lot of Catholic people are giving notices in the churches saying that don't vote for Modi, as the another religion leader will come up. They say that Muslims are saying a few of the 10%, as I said, and they're teaching them in their masjids that don't vote for Modi, or else another community leader will come up. These 10 people don't understand that the 90% of other people are not fools. They are not going to be taken away by these things, because they understand that if you look at the Hindus in particular, like India was a Hindu nation, because at the time of India Pakistan, Pakistan was purely Islamic country, so all the Muslims were said to go there, and India was mostly all the Hindus were here. Hindus was the only people who peacefully invited the other religions also, that okay, you can also stay here, Muslims, Christians, or Buddhism, or other people, and we will not harm you, we will respect you. And this is what India has been doing for since long. That's why India is called as a secular country, because here majority people are Hindus. So actually it's a Hindu nation, but despite of it, they respect all the other religion. That's why it's a secular religion, or the secular country. Um, so ultimately, having a Hindu leader or a Muslim leader or Christian leader will not make any difference to the country where the majority of population is Hindus. And even if the majority of population Hindus, if you look at the country, I mean, it is those majority of people who have given respect to the other religions. If you look at other religion country like Pakistan, they don't give respect to Hindus or Christians. If you look at any other Christian community country, they don't give respect to the religions. Giving respect doesn't mean that you give them the minority status, or you just allow them to do things. I mean, giving respect also means that you live together as a brotherhood, and you really don't care about other ups and downs and different traditions. I mean, in India, people respect all the different traditions. So, but as I said, there are 10% people who is trying to brainwash the other 90% people, so that they start thinking that we are being ruled by the Hindu people. But actually, Hindus never felt bad when we made a president of Mr. Abdul Kalam, who is a Muslim president. We praised Mother Teresa; she was a Christian. So actually, as a Hindu, we accepted all the people, but and we don't feel anything wrong in that. If Mr. Modi had been a Muslim person, even we would have accepted him as a leader if he is doing good thing for the country. So ultimately, India is our country, not just Hindus, but all the other religions as well. So being as Indian, I mean, it's our country. India is our country. So no matter which leader from which community or which caste or which religion, whoever it is, if he is doing a good job for the country, all Hindus will support him. It doesn't matter, it can be a Christian, it can be Muslim, but if anyone is doing good work, we Hindus support him, irrespective of what religion comes from. It's a different fact that Modi is doing that, and because see, the mindset of Hindus has always been to live peacefully. If you look at the India past, I mean, none of the Indian Rajas, kings, have ever tried to get into a different country. By different country, I don't mean like within the states. I'm not talking about kings fighting within the states of India. I mean, they have been doing that, but none of the king has ever tried to go across the India and China or other country and try to invade them. I mean, they have been living peacefully. It was the Muslim invaders who came in India as Mughals, Aurangzeb, and all those things, and it is the Christians invaders like England who came into India and tried to impose their religions aspects and killing people. But Hindus is a very very sensible, very peaceful religion, and they respect everyone. Okay, and in Hindus there are so many different gods, because we believe that God is in everywhere, and you can reach to the ultimate soul, that is Omkar, by following any of these gods. So you can either pray to Lord Vishnu, Lord Shankara, Lord Ganesha. So God has different forms, and all these different forms shows that God is everywhere, and whichever form you want to take, you can take it, but ultimately you all reach to the same divine. So I'm not going to focus on these things now. I'm just trying to be focused on the party here. So I was just trying to tell the difference that Congress has been trying to poison the mind of people, saying that they are the bad and all the Hindus are bad religion. And so they have also created numerous about Hindus. They have gone up to the extent of criticizing Hindus, despite of knowing that they are the majority, because they know that Hindus don't vote based on the religions. So even though the Hindu is a major population and they are giving bad words to Hindus, Hindus are going to look for the right person and they are not going to look for who is saying what. Whereas Muslims and Christians, a lot of people, they blindly vote for their religions, but Hindus don't do that. So the question is now, what is the future of Congress? For me, I would say this 2019 election is going to be the end of Congress. They will lose everything. Rahul Gandhi is going to lose his seat. Sonia Gandhi is going to lose his seat. A lot of major big parties are going to lose seat. I think Congress will be below 10. This is what my prediction is. And BJP is going to win more than 400 seats. Again, going to be the number one party, despite of Congress taking support from the Pakistan. As you know, Sidhu, the Congress leader, has been visiting Pakistan, trying to take support from Pakistan. A lot of, I have seen camps, WhatsApp, Facebook, a lot of social media camps has been set in Pakistan, try to spread newses, fake newses and mischiefs against Modi government. Why Pakistan is interested in saying against Modi government is because Congress is in support with Pakistan. So both Congress and Pakistan is together now. Congress is, as I said, he's a mad ruling king party, and they just want the power. No matter what it happens, they can even they can invite Pakistan to attack India, and whatever is left, they will tell them, okay, I'll rule on behalf of you. They just want the power. That's it. If Congress, if permitted, Congress will bring China in Congress, and they will ask everyone to attack India so that they will get the power. They want to remove Modi. So Congress has become a party where it's an anti-national party in today's game. Recently there was a surgical strike which was done against the terrorism by India in Pakistan, and there was two things. First was the initial surgical strike, and second was the response of Pulwama attack, which was happened in India. So in both the cases, it's seen that Congress has really become anti-national. They were even against people saying Jai Hind. In Sidhu own speeches, people were saying Pakistan Zindabad and all these stuffs. So this entire thing is very clear that now Congress has become a anti-national party. It's anti-patriotic, anti-India party, and none of the country Indians should ever vote Congress. And all the other parties who are supporting Congress, please don't vote for Congress. I will say you once again, if you are a true Indian, not because Modi is good or bad, Modi is doing a lot of development, but even if you hate Modi, I would say once, because of political reasons, there's no other way to hate Modi, because he is doing such a fantastic job that being a wise person, if you are educated, if you avoid the fake news, if you look at the real news, I would suggest please watch Z News, which is very good, transparent media. They put both the balances of the news, and they portray you, let you decide, but they show you the facts. So watch Z News, I would suggest. And if you are a true Indian, and even if you hate Modi because of political reasons, maybe you are affiliated with another party, from your heart, just think one, that Modi is an Indian, a true Indian, whereas Congress is anti-Indian. I'm not saying just because of one incident. You look at all the incidents of Congress, right from the doing corruption till the time he didn't do anything for the country people, and he's trying to divide people within religions, in different casteism, trying to, in their people are trying to break the government properties and all those things. So if you look at all his people and the alliances, everything, they all are crook people. They all, Congress and all his alliance, are crook people. So if Modi is not good, then the people, these Congress and other people, they're the worst people. So I would say, please vote for Modi. He is really a nice man. He's a good leader. All his team people may not be good, right? You cannot have all the 100% purity, but if the leader is good, he will make sure that even the wrong people comes on the right track if the leader is strong, and that's what Mr. Modi is. So in today's era, I would say there's no other leader better than BJP and the Modi. So go ahead, vote for Modi. Trust me, he's the man who's going to look after all the religions. He's the man who will help everyone, whether it's poverty, whether it's middle class, upper class. He's the person who's going to simplify the businesses to happen in India. So he's gonna help India become a developed country.